Okay, so back once again with another lecture video. So this is part 2 of inventory management discussion. So moving forward, okay, we have discussed previously as part of our last topic and deriving EOQ. This time, we want to move forward with our discussion. Okay, and all of that is intended to achieve minimum total cost. Okay, so our inventory system is also designed supposed to be to support the company's organization's objective of making profit, okay, by lowering the total cost. So the total cost curve reaches its minimum where the carrying cost and ordering costs are supposed to be equal as illustrated in our optimal order quantity. Okay? Okay, so another is the concept of economic production quantity. This time, okay, uh, we move towards production from order ay na economic order quantity. Ngayon naman, economic production quantity. So this time, a inventory is involved with regards to production. Yan. So this time, the relationship between inventory and the materials we handle as part of our inventory, and of course, production. Okay, so the following are considered. Number one, production done only in batches or lots. Okay, so the capacity also to produce a part should exceed the part usage or demand rate. So the demand rate is supposed to be less than our capacity, or capacity is greater than the demand. Okay, that includes parts. Okay, and assumption of the EQ are similar to EOQ, except orders are this time received incremental during production. So kanina order, ngayon production, no? Moving forward, so again, some assumption of economic production quality. Once again, one items owned is involved, annual demand is known, usage rate is constant, usage occurs continually, production is constant, the lead time does not vary, and of course, no quantity discount. Okay, so again, these are some assumptions, okay, to create our model in terms of achieving production quantity efficiency. Okay, but in reality, of course, it might change with our assumption. Okay, so we need to consider the total cost of purchasing, okay, or total cost with regards to purchasing costs. So our total cost is now equals not only our annual carrying cost, okay, an annual ordering cost, but also this time the purchasing cost involved. So si purchasing idadagdag natin kay annual carrying tsaka kay annual ordering to achieve total cost in terms of inventory. Again, this cost is besides our production, no? Okay, we are only dwelling with regards to inventory cost, no? Anyway, okay, with regards to total cost, okay, with purchasing costs, and okay, so first we consider, okay, our total cost with purchasing cost and without purchasing cost. Okay, adding this purchasing cost does not change our EOQ, but this time we will now achieve a itong nasa broken line na to. So ito yung lowest possible cost, okay, with regards to quantity and cost to achieve economic order quantity. Yan. So production and order quantities. Ito yung gusto nating ma-achieve. Okay? So total carrying cost with constant cost carrying costs. And again, we want to determine our EOQ, which would be the lowest possible cost with regards to total cost. Okay, so as you can see, if price decrease, our total economic order quantity also decreases. Okay, so when to reorder, okay, assuming we have achieved our EOQ, economic order quantity and economic production quantity. So we want to determine, number one, our reordering point or the order point. So this is the point we're in. Okay, the quantity on hand of item drops. to this amount, okay, the item is reorder. So pag bumaba dun sa amount na yon, dapat mag-reorder na raw. Okay, we also maintain what you call the safety stocks. So the safety stocks this time is held on excess of expected demand due to variable demand rate or lead time. So kahit na meron tayong reorder point, ay nagme-maintain pa rin tayo ng safety stocks natin. Eh again, kasi nga we expect that there will be varying demand rate or lead time. So later on we'll do some illustration. And of course the service level. This time the probability that the demand will not exceed supply during our lead time. Okay? So determinants of our reorder point, number 1 is the rate of demand. Number 2 is the lead time. Another would be the demand or lead time variability. Okay, the term variability, pagbabago, and stock out risk or safety stocks. Okay, so for example, yan. Okay, so this is our reorder point. Okay, remember, okay, let's say this is our reorder point. Ano ba yung reorder point na yan? Remember kanina si reorder point, sabi natin, the quantity on hand of item. When it drops to this amount, there should be now reorder. So pag daw bumabas dito, yung ating quantity, assuming yung quantity natin, syempre bumaba. Bakit siya bumababa? Ginagamit. Nagkakaroon ng production, nagkakaroon ng output, ginagamit yung nasa inventory. Pag bumaba na sa ating reorder point, we should now reorder. So this is now the maximum probable demand that will be considered during the lead time. Yan. So ibig sabihin, this part is our assumption of the demand we'll have during the time we're in, our order is placed and our order is delivered. So ibig sabihin, bababa pa rito yung ating inventaryo. Okay, so from reorder point, hanggang dumating yung ating yung ating order, bababa pa siya doon sa level na to. Yan, kasi syempre, may mga demand pa no? So assuming let's say 1 week, bumaba pa yung demand natin. So now, this is what we expect demand during the lead time. However, sabi natin kanina, meron pa rin tayong safety stocks. In excess of expected demand due to variable demand rate or lead time. So assuming that during that time, nag-exceed tayo sa ating demand. Yan. So meron pa rin tayong safety stocks na hawak. Ibig sabihin meron pa rin tayong inventory na hawak. Just to make sure that we do not run out of inventory. Assuming, let's say, for example, McDonald's, bago dumating yung kanilang delivery, nagre-reorder point na yan. Pag bumaba na yung stocks nila, order na yan. But of course, there are other factors to consider, like for example, traffic, accidents, other factors to consider. Yan. So, breakdown of machines, of let's say, yung mga delivery equipment, nasira. So, pag dumating yung inventaryo, kahit na bumaba na tayo dun sa ating lead stocks, meron pa rin tayong safety stocks na tinatawag. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, kahit na bumaba na tayo dun sa ating probable demand during the time, meron pa rin tayong stock na hawak to serve our inventory. Pero syempre, hindi dapat mag-exceed yan sa zero. Ibig sabihin yan, yun na yung point na umorder ka kay McDonald's, for example, walang burger, which is imposible. Imposibleng mangyari na ma-out of stock sila ng mga ganong produkto. So, those things happen probably, nag-order tayo, out of stock, wala silang maibigay sa and those are error for the organization kasi nawawalan tayo ng profit nun. But more so, na-dissatisfy yung ating mga customer. Yan. Okay? Anyway. Okay. Moving forward. Okay. So again, moving forward, safe with stocks require risk of stock out during lead time. Yan. So yung lead time natin, okay, dahil sa safety stocks natin, again, okay, nare-reduce tayo ng stock out. Okay, moving forward again, so these are our reorder point. So what are the things that we need to consider? Of course, the service level, the probability of no stock outs, and the risk of stock outs. Yan. So reorder point is based on the normal distribution of lead time of demand. Okay, meaning to say, we are in consideration of our demand, we are expecting demand, so papasok na rito yung forecast, at papasok dito yung consumption ng ating production with regards to the demand in our forecast. Yan. So we are also considering that upon our reorder point, yan, so to avoid risk of stockouts, meron tayong yan, safety stocks. Okay? Meron pa rin tayong quantity na hawak. Okay? To avoid that zero. Yan, zero or C-scale wherein there's no stocks. And again, we cannot serve our customer during that time. Okay? So moving forward, okay, fixed order interval model. Okay, so this time, order are placed at fixed time interval. So posible po yan. Magkaroon tayo ng fixed order. Okay, order quantity for the next interval is determined. Supplier might encourage fixed interval also because syempre hindi sila naghahabol sa ating mga supply, sa ating sa kanilang ipoproduce para sa order natin. Okay? That also affects their inventory. Okay, it may require only periodic checks of inventory level. There is risk of stock outs. Okay, kasi nga yung ating reorder is fixed. Ibig sabihin hindi tayo nag-a-adjust sa demand. And the fill rate or the percentage of demand filled by stocks on hand must be considered. Okay, so those are things that again, no, okay, this time fixed interval model. Okay? However, moving forward, there are also some benefits of this fixed interval, okay, in which we are having tight control of our inventory items. Items from the suppliers may yield, okay, savings, may result in savings in terms of ordering, packaging, and shipping costs. Kay supplier yan. Okay? And may be practical when inventories cannot be closely monitored. So yun yung problema. Doon depende rin sa inventory system natin. Kung manual counting tayo, diba? Kung periodic counting tayo, ang hirap i-monitor ng stocks natin. Okay? Pero kung perpetual, ayan, hindi tayo gumagamit ng fixed interval dahil outright na determine natin yung ating demand at saka yung ating inventory. Okay, disadvantage, ayan, requires larger safety stocks. So ang problema rito, ang disadvantage ni fixed interval, malaki yung safety stocks natin. Kasi nga, we are not perpetually monitoring our stocks. It also increase our carrying costs because of course you have to maintain large warehouse, okay, or facilities to house your inventory. Okay, and there is what you call the cost of periodic review or periodic counting. Okay, syempre, kailangan mo ng manpower dyan para magbilang. At gaano katagal nila yung bibilangin. Okay, so that's why we need to put a system in place. Okay, and of course, no, modernize our inventory management, no? So imagine yung mga traditional na mga nabibili ng parts ng mga sasakyan. For example, no, kung hindi sila computerized, kung ano-mano yung lista, napakahirap nung mag-assume kasi lahat yun bibilangin mo perpetually. No, at again, nagkakaroon din ng risk na meron ka namang stocks pero hindi mo makita. Okay? Or meron ka namang stocks pero akala mo wala. Yan, hindi natin na monitor. Anyway, moving forward. Okay, for the single period model, okay, model for ordering or perishable, okay, and other items with limited useful lives. So itong single period model ginagamit to for perishable products. Ibig sabihin yung nabubulok. Yan, yung useful life niya is limited. Well, for example, siyempre mga pagkain, di ba? Assume natin yan, especially yung mga fresh goods. Yan. So there is what you call also shortage cost with the single period model. Okay, these are unrealized profit per unit because we do not want to maintain large inventory since we are dealing with perishable products. So kung wala ka na talaga. No? Kahit may marami pa bumibili, kung wala ka ng stocks, that will do for you. No? Because again, of the limitation with regards to perishable items. Now, where there are also excess costs, so difference between purchase cost and salvage value, of the limited leftover at the end of the period. So yan yung natawag na excess cost kung mapapakinabangan pa natin or masasalvage pa natin yung produkto. For example, imagine si supermarket. Yan. So may mga produkto siya na non-perishable, di nabubulok. Karamihan ng produkto niya nabubulok din. Pero syempre yung lifespan ng product medyo matagal yung expiration. But of course, kung sa kanilang inventory, meron ding mga single period model, no? Especially yung mga fresh goods na if not maintained properly, saglit lang nabubulok. Ayan, yung mga prutas, yung mga vegetables, whether or not you put it in storage, meron lang talaga siyang ample time para ma-dispose. So kung hindi sila nabibili, okay, again, this becomes excess cost for the organization. Okay, because they have to do something about it in order to salvage the value. Minsan sila-sale, no? Anyway, single period model, okay, it's a model that requires continuous stocking. So normally, kaya ito yung mga tinatawag na mga consigned, no? Kasi pinabebenta lang sa kanila, kaya pinoprotektahan din ng investment nila. Okay, so we need really to identify optimal stock level. Hindi sila pwede mag-maintain ng masyadong maraming produkto. Yung mga highly fresh items, yun lang talaga yun kung ano yung naka-display. Hindi katulad ng mga canned goods na may mga expiration or matagal yung expiration, matagal din yan. Marami sila na nilalagay sa kanilang inventory. So optimal stocking level should be determined. Okay? It balances the unit storage with excess costs because again, these are prone to losses. Yan. And discrete stocking level, service level are discrete rather than continuous. Okay? And of course, the desirable service level is equal or exceeded. Okay? Kailangan maraming service level dito para ma-push yung produkto na mapili. Yan, maubos. Yan. Kasi nga, again, it can be prone to perishing. Okay? Mapubulok yung produkto. Okay? So therefore, okay, with and in consideration, the optimal stocking level, okay, is considered, okay, the CS or the shortage cost per unit divided by the excess cost per unit. And so there must be a balancing point and the optimal quantity must be determined. Kaya pinag-aaralan yan sa mga supermarket, yung mga managers doon. Kasi again, no, mabubulok yan eh. Hindi lahat ng produkto mo pare-pares ng expiration. No, anyway, okay, most likely also sa mga mga company na who's handling perishable materials like those handling restaurant, 'di ba? Importanteng ma-determine nila 'yan, no? Kasi nga again, pagkain yan. Nabubulok yung pagkain, nasisira. And again, pag nasira yan, ibig sabihin, loss yan para sa organization. Okay? So some example, in terms of operation strategy, too much inventory tends to hide problem. Easier to live with problems than to eliminate them. However, it is very costly to maintain. So therefore, wise strategy for reducing lot size and reducing safety stocks. And of course, in our discussion, the EOQ, EPQ, and economic quantity order, EQO, must be determined. Yan. So economic means the optimum quantity, either in production, either in ordering, either in our quantity that we have in our inventory. So basically, that's it for our part 2 of our discussion for inventory management. There will be some additional video that will be used to elaborate some of the items that we discussed. In particular, for example, the types of inventory, yung mga latest, no, with regards to modernizing our inventory management. Yan, yung mga two-bin system. I have some video regarding that. Okay? Yung mga ABC classification system. For now, okay, that ends our discussion. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, there will be some instruction and assignments, okay, right after our discussion for our asynchronous class. Okay. Thank you, and thank you very much for listening.